Has your ManyChat subscriber not pushed a button or answered a question? Well, I'm going to show you how to retarget them, and I'm going to show you that now. All right, let's rock and roll here. I'm going to tilt my screen a little bit. Today we're going to talk about testing the smart delay and rules to retarget your subscribers when they don't answer a question. Now, this could be for quizzes. It could be for a survey. It could be that you're just asking for an email because you gave them an offer and you want an email from them, maybe the phone number, anytime you're asking questions. And before we actually get started, and you're going to see what I do here, I just say, take each question and put it in its own flow. And you'll see why. Break them up so that you can keep that conversation going. So let's look at the initial one. I'm using the new comment tool, comment block. So you can put comments right in your flows. So I'm just kind of showcasing one of the new features that just came out, the ManyChat, that you can actually put. So I'm just put it in there saying, hey, this is what we're going to do. So we're going to take a look at this flow here that I have to start the conversation. So let's just say you're going to do a quiz. Now, like I said, this can be used. It doesn't have to be a quiz. It could be an offer where you've got them to opt in and now they're in a flow and you're going to ask them for an email and they don't answer. But the first question you're going to ask, and I would advise you to break it up into small pieces, like I was talking, into small little flows. So here's the first message. I'm going to say, hey, Jeff, would you like to take the quiz? Yes or no? So we have basically that's, and I want to cover this. This is the first, I guess, retargeting we're going to do. If you use quick replies that are like right below a text box, so text box like that, I'm just going to take that one away. The quick replies here, not the quick replies in a custom user field or user input block, where you have multiple choice. These are the quick replies that are right here. So they're very similar to buttons. So let's say we put a button here and we just said yes and no. You do the same thing. We can drag those to wherever yes is going to the first question. And the no goes to here. Wow, that's weird. It's not showing up. And you could publish it. Not that I'm saying you should have buttons and quick replies, but I'm just saying this retargeting works for either. So you could have buttons like this, or you could have the quick replies like this. So I'm going to delete these buttons. Actually, I just leave them in there for now. I wouldn't have both in a normal flow. But what I'm saying is, in this example, you could use buttons, you could use quick replies. So we're just going to leave them there. And what happens is this drops down through automatically continue to a smart delay. So our first retargeting is going to be when you use buttons and when you use quick replies to get information from the subscriber and they don't answer. Let's say they just stop, it gets delivered, and they don't tell you yes or no. So what we're going to do is, first, if they say yes, we're going to go to question number one. And you can see that I basically have created, and I'm going to go into here, question number one. Here we go, question number one, email. So I created a flow for the first question. And we're going to redirect to that flow if they say yes. Either way, the button or the quick reply. If they say no, we're just going to go, okay, later. We're just going to end it. But we'll look at this a little closer is from that dropping down through and they don't answer, we're going to do a smart delay. And the smart delay, any amount of time you want to wait. I'm just going to do 1 minute so we can see it work here in the flow. And it's going to delay for 1 minute. And then what we're going to do is we're going to ask them if they want to go back and continue. actually back to the quiz and start. See, you didn't tell us if you wanted to take the quiz, would you? Yes or no? And so it's the same question I was asking here. Very similar anyway. Would you like to take a quiz? You could be, if it's an offer, you could say, hey, I know you requested it. You could say, do you want the offer? Or you could just say, hey, what's your favorite pizza topping? You ask them some question to get them into the flow of asking them for their email or whatever it is. So that's how this flow is going to work. It's going to ask them a question. If they don't answer, it's going to time delay, and it's going to re-ask them and re-engage with them to see if they want to do that. So let's just publish this, get it up there. Then what's going to happen is if they say yes, we're going to go to this flow. It's basically question number 1, email. And in here, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tag them saying that they entered question number 1. And this is question number 1. We want to make sure that we tag them. It's for a particular reason before they enter the question. And then we're going to have an automatic continue to go to the second question. Now, here we're just asking them for their email. Tap the button below if the best email. If not, please type in a better email below. And I got an email type email, and I'm storing in an A email. Nothing fancy, normal setup there. But what's going to happen here is, so we talked about the first one where we're going to use a smart delay with buttons. So just keep that in mind, as if you're using buttons or quick replies to get information, you can use a smart delay to circle them back. With a custom user input field, a user input block that's asking for a custom user field to be filled, like email, what you want to do is you tag them first, and then you create a rule. And the rule will retarget them back to the question if they don't answer it. You create the rule, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this, and I'll delete this, and we're just going to start over. So trigger, and you can take time date based trigger. And what you want to do is select user field is going to be last interaction. And that's what we want. We want last interaction, and we want it in 1 minute. Plus, so that we're not creating a lot of, if you just left it that way, it would fire all the time for all of your subscribers, and the server would get a little taxed because you don't have an additional condition with checking the last interaction. So that's why where the tag comes in, because now we can center this trigger for the retargeting based on they're in our quiz or in our offer. We're asking for some custom user field to be filled using a user input block. So we're going to say last interaction 1 minute, and then they have to be tagged for Z test entered question 1. Now you would do this for every question. So if you had 3 questions using a user input field, you would create 3 rules, 1 for each question, and you would tag them coming in to each question with, let's say, entered question 2, entered question 3. And so one change I could do here is, oh no, I might have done that already. Let me see here. I was thinking I need to remove the tag. So what we do here, anyway, I'll get to that one. Sorry, just thought of something. So what we're going to do is tag them, And then in this rule, it's going to say last interaction, and they're tagged entering the question number 1. The last interaction is they pushed a button saying yes here that they want to take the quiz. Okay? Or they said yes here, where we had to redirect because they didn't answer it the first time. They said yes. They have interacted. And now they've entered question number 1, as we indicated. And we're sitting waiting. When that sits there, it's going to trigger this rule. It's going to wait a minute, and they're tagged, and it's going to send a retarget, question 1 retarget check, and that's what I called it. And that's this flow where we're going to come back and say, hey, Jeff, see you didn't finish question number 1 about email. Would you like to go back to it? Take me to question 1. And it goes back to email. So there again, this is why we want to break up the questions into individual flows, because we can redirect them back into it. One of the things I'm going to add here is an action to remove this tag, the tag that caused this to fire. And I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to put that there. So I'm going to remove that because this rule is going to fire off the retargeting check. We want, where's my retargeting one? Okay, retargeting, we want to remove it and then ask them the question to see if they want to go back and do the email. So we're going to publish that. One thing I need to do is need to go into the audience just quick. Need to go in here and remove this tag because I didn't have the remove tag. I tested this to make sure everything was cool, and I didn't have that done. So let's go back here. All right. So we have that. We have that. So now we're going to fire this off. This is going to be our first. This is where you ask them if they want whatever they want to do. Take a quiz, take a survey, get the offer. Well, we need some information. You might just say, hey, you send them in from, let's say, a Facebook ad to get an offer. And it comes in and says, hey, Jeff, we have a few questions before we can give you the offer. Is that okay? You know, you can ask them a question like that. Whatever, to get them going. One, they interacted. So now that timer for that, possibly timer for this rule is fired off. So let's test this out. I'll go over to here and go over here. Say, okay, hi Jeff, would you like to take the quiz? And so what we're going to do is we're going to sit here for a minute and just kind of wait for that. Sorry, obviously I can't make it seconds, which I'd like it to. Make it seconds so that it'd fire off. But we can, we'll talk about, actually I'm going to bring up, just recently, as a taping of this after the conference that was just happened last weekend, the ManyChat conference, there has been some awesome features just announced. And one of them was, as I was talking about, the comments. So now you can put a block of comments in there. Oh, there we go. So it fired off. Jeff, see, you didn't tell us if you wanted to take the quiz. Would you? So what we did is, let me see where we are here. We're in this one. Never mind. We're in this smart delay. So we did a smart delay for a minute, and we came to this question here. So now I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes to that. Yes, I want to. So now it should take me to question number 1. And it just says, hey, Jeff, tap the button below if this is your best email. If not, please type in a better email below. And so we'll just wait. And maybe I got busy. That's what happens. Sometimes people get busy and they don't finish the flow, or maybe they don't want to do it, which you'll find out, because I think one of the things you should do is give them an option. I did not put it in here. Give them an option to unsubscribe. I had here, would you like to take the quiz? And then I also only just had yes. Here, obviously the quick replies go away, the buttons don't. What you always want to do is probably give them an out. So don't just say yes. I think I did one of those where I was just said yes for the speed of this, but you always want to give them an opportunity to get out or unsubscribe, even that. So there we go. Here we go. Hey, Jeff, see you didn't finish question number 1 about the email. Would you like to go back and take it? I'm going to say yeah. Why not? I'll go back. I'm going to answer the question and enter phone. So there you go. Now you could, if they go back to the question number 1 and they don't answer, they sit there again, you're going to get that rule to fire off again, because they, well, let me go check here too. I'm going to go check my audience. They went back into the question. So you could put another tag in there that would allow that only to do it once. Because see, I'm tagged, test entered, tagged, because I entered it and I answered it. So I didn't remove it. I could remove it. What you could do, and I'll just add a little bonus here. What you could do is that's removing it. That's adding the tag. And actually, once they complete this question, you could do this and do a action, remove tag, that one. And then you could add a tag called Z underscore, I'm going to call it test, completed question 1. So now you know that they completed question 1, and then you're going to connect that. Oops. Going to connect that, and then you're going to connect this to go to question number 2. And that way it'll clean up the tags for the subscriber. And then you would know. And then you could actually do one thing. Okay, I got that done. You could actually do one thing here is you could put another condition. And say tag isn't completed. So you could safeguard it even more so that doesn't fire off. Or actually, no, take that back. You might have a tag that says, only serve it once. And so that they got the question retargeted once to them. Hopefully I'm explaining that right. And so how you would do that is you would put it, well, you could put it in when we retarget them, actually in the retargeting, here we go. In the retargeting check, you could remove this tag, and then here you could add a tag that says Z underscore retargeted already. And then you could put the rule and just say, hey, they can't have retargeted already. So that way, then you only get them once. But anyway, hopefully that helps you kind of understand how you can continue those conversations. I know I've had some other videos, one earlier that use a sequence to keep it going on a user input block. But now with the rules, you don't have to use a sequence to do that anymore. You can create a rule for every question. And every question should be set up, question right here, where you're going to add a tag that enters so that you can use it in the rule if they don't answer that question. Well, that concludes our video for today on how to use the ManyChat Smart Delay and the ManyChat Rules to retarget your subscribers that haven't pushed a button or answered a question. If you have any comments or questions, please post them down below. I'm happy to answer them. And as always, like the video, share it across the world, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. Click the little bell on top so you do get notification when I upload a new video. Down in the description, I do have a great course, a ManyChat toolbox. It's all about the APIs or dynamic content and how you can use that and make your conversations even stronger. As always, have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.